Hey everyone, Richard Payne here from eXp Realty, Halifax Homes and Lifestyles, and we are sat out in the glorious sunshine, just enjoying some of the fresh air, some of the sunshine that we've actually got here in April, because March has been a crazy month. So the question is, did real estate suffer or did it carry on? So let's find out. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are and you're watching this. It's Richard Payne here from Halifax Homes and Lifestyles, eXp Realty, sat outside enjoying some of the glorious sunshine that we've got here in April. But we want to talk about the stats for March because March has been a crazy month with all the issues with the virus. But the question is, did it really affect our Halifax market? And looking at the stats, not too much actually. February was obviously a pretty good month, but March has actually got better than that. We had 488 homes sold, 1,169 were active. That gives us an inventory of only 2.4 months. We were up at 3 point something in February, but we're now down to 2.4 months. So a little bit of maybe houses not being listed, but certainly selling, 488 homes, which is plus 32% on February, but more importantly, plus 20% on last year. Gives you an idea that buyers are still out there and still looking. Now, when we look at the selling price, it's gone a little bit crazy. $373,657 to be precise, plus 7% on February, plus 11% on last year. But there are some real reasons behind that, because let's have a quick look at some of the top markets. And when we look at the top markets, number one was Bedford. Now, Bedford had an average selling price of $525,000. 43 homes sold, 2.7 months of inventory on the market, so about the same. But the key thing is, well, when the number one selling market is at 525, you're going to expect and you're going to see a bump up in that average price point, and that's exactly what happened. Now, interestingly enough, 19 of those 43 homes, so nearly half of those homes, are actually new builds, which are Parks of Bedford West, the new Brookline Estates area that's opened up there. And the average price point there really starts at about $470,000 and just goes up from there. So with those new builds, that's definitely something that we're obviously going to see affecting the average price in that area. Joint number one actually was Timberley, Prospect Bay and St. Margaret's Bay Area. So you kind of look at that, theirs is only a $303,000 average price, but still sold as many homes at 43. And then when we go into number two, Sackville, starter market, $264,000 price. But then we get into number three, which is Fairmount, Clayton Park, Rockingham. Average price there, $451. 34 homes sold. And when we look at that, out of that 34, 7 were brand new builds. We also look at Spryfield. 20 out of their 30 homes was actually brand new builds. So out of all of the 488 homes, 82 homes, 17% were actually new builds. And we know that new builds are going to be 100% sale to list price. Well, sometimes it's actually more than that, because buyers obviously look at the home and say, oh, how much could it be if we did this, if we added that, if I changed the countertops to something more expensive, and the price just goes up. So very often you can find that the sale price to list price in a brand new home area can be at least 100% minimum, or it's going to be higher than that. I think that's what we've seen this month with the average price. There was a few places as well in Halifax that were pretty high price markets as well, and they actually sold some good properties down there. So you're seeing an overall effect of everything just going up. But one of the things that we want to look at as well is Eastern Passage did really well. Dartmouth cropped into the top 5, which doesn't really happen that much. So, obviously people are looking for value there, $266,000 average price point. So when we look at it all and we kind of say, okay, well, days on market, by the way, 43 days on market, 63 days was February and 72 days was last year. So across the board, we're seeing a really good improvement on kind of everything that we're actually seeing from a real estate point of view. Definitely at the last week of March, we did see a lot of the conditionally sold houses come back onto active. And I think that was as an effect of, probably people unfortunately getting to the point where they were actually laid off. And therefore the financing, unfortunately, no job, no way of actually paying back the mortgage. So that really did have an impact. And we're seeing that certainly into April. Now, we went back about 7 days. So this morning we went back 7 days. So probably to like the 31st of March was probably those 7 days. And we actually took a little look to say, okay, well, what's the market doing right now? So how many new listings? There was about 30 new listings. About 20 homes were conditional. Now some of those are obviously showing in the March numbers that we've got, so you can kind of discount some of those numbers. So it's definitely slowed down. You know, and I think we are going to see a fairly large effect in April for people pushing the pause button if they're buyers, because they're just uncertain on everything that's going to happen. And also the new listings. You know, a lot of my clients that are looking at listings now are saying, well, we want to slow down and push the pause just because we don't really know how it's going to affect us for the future, as well as the precautions. Yes, we've got good precautions in place. We have the hand sanitization rules. We have nobody other than the people like the realtor and whoever is writing the agreement. So, you know, I don't want your mum and dad coming through. I don't want all the kids coming through. We're asking people obviously not to open a lot of cupboards and look inside a lot of places that they would want to be. We ask the sellers to leave as many doors open as possible so there isn't that contamination of touching the door handles. So we've got a ton of restrictions in place, but wherever we can, we're trying to do like as minimal showings as possible to stop the virus. That's what we want to do. We want everyone to be safe, everyone to be healthy. So if you have any questions on any different of the areas, because you know we've got all the areas lined up and we know what they're all doing, then just reach out. You've got the name, you've got the phone number, just email me, do whatever you need to do. But you know, the key thing here is that we're saying slow down on the amount of buyers that are actually coming to houses, and that's what we're really starting to see, because we have to deal obviously with coronavirus and we have to slow the spread before the world can get back to some kind of sense of normality. But when that does happen, we're going to see a pretty good rush of people who are listing, people who are buying, who did push the pause button, and they're coming straight back onto the market. So that's the advice. We'll start giving you weekly updates on the market, just quick little 1 to 2 minute things just to make sure that you're all up to date and you can see what the real effect is and how it's actually changing your plans. So if you have any questions, feel free. Details are coming up, just get hold of me.